The very first thing, the very first rule, really, that God made was to honor the seventh day. Genesis 2:2, he created the heavens and the earth, and in 6 days, and on the seventh day, he rested. And he sanctified that day to be a day of rest. So from the very beginning, before he told Adam and Eve, look, there's one particular tree in the garden I don't want you to go eat. He sanctified the seventh day as a day of rest. That's very, very important to the Lord, and it's very important to us. And one reason that he does that is that he wants us to enjoy life. He wants us to have faith in him, to trust in him enough to be able to take a break. And I started thinking recently, like, I've been living my whole life since I was a kid, since I was a teenage boy. I've been living my whole life with the stress and the burden of trying to save the world. Once I came to the Lord, it's like, okay, everybody else needs to come to the Lord. And those who don't believe in Jesus are lost. And so I've been carrying that burden. And so it's very important for me from time to time to take a break from saving the world, as if I could save the world. But I just remind myself that it's God who does the saving. I have the easy part. All he told me to do is to go and be a messenger of the good news. He just said, go and spread the good news. There's this wonderful news that I died for all mankind, and whosoever will can come and drink freely of the rivers of everlasting life. And all my job, all my stress is, all that we have to do as the church is just to go and spread the good news. And a lot of times we just put so much burden on ourselves of trying to save the world, when really that's his job. And he said, I got that part taken care of. Just trust me for that. Just believe in me. And then you just go tell everybody the good news. And he wants us to enjoy life. He wants us to take pleasures in life. Look, in Psalms 16 and 11, it says, in your presence, Lord, is fullness of joy, and at your right hand are pleasures forevermore. The Lord is interested in us enjoying life, and and sometimes we have to take that time, take a break from saving the world, take a break from all the stress and all the cares of life, and remember, okay, God's got us. He's under control. He sits on the highest throne. He's in control. This is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. He's made this day. This day is not designed by my enemy to try to trip me up. It's not designed by anybody else to try to cause harm to me or to give me trouble. No, this is the day that the Lord has made. And if we could just walk in that faith and in that joy, we can have so much more peace and have so much more of an enjoyable life when we live life that way. That's a big part of faith. Is truly having enough faith in him to trust him and to take a day off and to take a time of rest. Because you're not walking in faith when you keep trying to force things, yourself. When you keep trying to do things, when you keep trying to move the ball down the field, and you forget who the real quarterback is. And so part of walking by faith is trusting God enough to take a day off. And sometimes we need more than a day off. Sometimes we need a sabbatical or a vacation or something even more extensive to truly just unwind, de-stress, and just say, you know what, God's got this all under control. He's got this all under control. Long before I came around, he knew what he was doing, and everything's going to be all right. Listen, if you want to hear from God, it's important to rest. You can't hear from God when you're too wound up, when you're stressed, and when there's all this noise going on. Listen, when Elijah heard from God, he finally heard that still small voice after all the chaos and the commotion was over. And so sometimes we just got to get to a place where we can just rest, relax, let everything quiet down, and then we'll start hearing his voice again.